Welcome to another aXpire update, this time for week 49 of 2019. This week at aXpire has been one of intensive development and preparation. As with last week, we're currently undergoing sprints to finalize the biller application ahead of its January 2020 launch. We're also finalizing booth preparations for the Legal Tech 2020 conference in early February, which we're very excited about. Beyond this, the other products are progressing nicely, and for Paybox we just started integrating with a new partner, which is providing lots of cool opportunities for the application. That's all for the project side of this week's update. Next, we have This Week in Crypto, bringing a collection of news and happenings from this past week to your attention, as well as giving you our brief opinion on them. In the first piece of news for this week's update, we have an update on the North Korea situation we covered last week. Virgil Griffith, an Ethereum Foundation research scientist, was recently arrested for allegedly providing, quote, highly technical advice to help North Korea avoid sanctions after doing a presentation at a conference which the regime hosted and sponsored within their country. Griffith denies the allegations, stating that all the information he provided was publicly accessible, open-sourced information which anyone could have accessed. This whole situation has caused varied reactions from the crypto industry, with high-profile personalities giving their opinions on the matter. The main creator of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, even provided his thoughts on the matter, expressing support for Virgil Griffith while stressing that his actions were not representative of, sponsored by, or so on by the Ethereum Foundation. Buterin stated that geopolitical open-mindedness was a virtue, and that Griffith's actions were commendable and that he was open to hearing the thoughts and opinions of a nation he's been, quote, trained to hate throughout his whole life. Buterin also said that he does not believe Griffith gave the DPRK, quote, any kind of real help in doing anything bad. Just this week as well, Virgil Griffith has lawyered up for the legal battle ahead, retaining the trial attorney Brian Klein, a seasoned blockchain attorney, if you will, given that he's worked for the likes of Charlie Shrem and Eric Voorhees previously in their legal battles. Klein himself has tweeted on the matter saying, quote, I now represent Virgil Griffith, and I'm very pleased that today the judge has found that he should be released from jail pending trial. We dispute the untested allegations in the criminal complaint, and Virgil looks forward to his day in court when the full story can come out. In other news, and in an interesting turn of event, the CEO of Bakkt, or should I say previous CEO, Kelly Loeffler, just left Bakkt due to being appointed to the United States Senate. Loeffler was appointed to the Senate by the governor of Georgia due to the current senator needing to retire at the end of this year for health reasons. This move means that Loeffler will need to go through a special election in 2021, one which she's committed $20 million of her own savings to campaign for. To add a bit more information on the political side of things, she's running as a Republican, and the current US President Donald Trump is apparently not pleased with the choice of Loeffler for the Senate seat, apparently preferring current House Representative Doug Collins, another outspoken Trump supporter. It's unclear who will take up the mantle of being the CEO of Bakkt after Loeffler left, but an obvious choice would be the current COO, if not just on an interim basis. This will likely not change anything at Bakkt, and it's likely to be business as usual. In adoption news, Microsoft has collaborated with the crypto gaming startup Engine to issue non-fungible collectible tokens to Azure developers called Azure Heroes. These tokens essentially represent badges, or badgers as they're being called, and are being issued on Ethereum and will be distributed to valuable members of the Azure community as voted on and nominated by the members of the community itself. This is quite a cool little development for the blockchain space. It's not very meaningful, but it's nonetheless great to see giants such as Microsoft embrace blockchain technology, especially decentralized networks such as Ethereum. In the last piece of news for this week's update, we have regulatory news from the EU. According to a recent joint statement put out by the Council of the European Union and the European Commission, they believe that stablecoins could be effective for providing cheap and fast payments, but that they have risks and challenges that outweigh the benefit. Their statement related to risks and challenges reads the following, quote, these arrangements pose multifaceted challenges and risks related, for example, to customer protection, privacy, taxation, cybersecurity and operational resilience, money laundering, terrorism financing, market integrity, and governance and legal clarity. These concerns are likely to be amplified, and new potential risks to monetary sovereignty, monetary policy, the safety and efficiency of payment systems, financial stability, and fair competition can arise. The statement further goes on to conclude with, quote, no global stablecoin arrangement should begin operation in the European Union until the legal, regulatory, and oversight challenges and risks have been adequately identified and addressed. At aXpire, we wholeheartedly disagree with the fact that a stablecoin would pose further risks than what we currently see with a traditional financial system and fiat. How much physical cash is not currently being used for illicit purposes with zero paper trail? If anything, a regulated stablecoin would be much more transparent for regulators and law enforcement than fiat. Chances are that it's not these so-called risks and challenges that they're worried about, but rather that their influence and bankers' influence would wane in the face of greater personal control of money and with the liberation from bankers' incredulous fees. That's all for this week's update. Hope to see you again next week. Thank you.